Hey everybody, it's Mike over at Taxes and Bricks. Welcome to episode 25. It's Friday mailbag. So strap in, we get some questions coming from some clients and a friend about a few tax topics and one about Lego. But first, week after next, because we're kind of in the throes of tax season here, probably gonna cut the frequency of the videos back a little bit, maybe 3 a week instead of 5, but we're still going to mix in taxes and Lego, so that's good. Also wanted to take a minute, now that we are kind of getting into the throes of tax season, to thank 2 people who are literally my right and left arm, and those are my partners in crime here. They are amazing. My director of operations and my client services director, unbelievable individuals. Anybody who's ever had to call my office or talk to them, you know. I mean, I couldn't do what I do without them. I couldn't survive, and I just thank God every day that they're in my life. So, big thanks to them. I'm going to throw up a quick disclaimer here because most of what we're going to be doing question-wise is tax-related. We'll come right back and jump into Friday mailbag.
This video is rated TAX and contains occasional ramblings, mild attempts at humor, self-deprecation, irreverence, brief numerical examples, and adult tax and accounting advice that may not be suitable for all taxpayers. Viewer discretion is advised. Before following any of the advice in this or any of our videos, you should always consult with a tax professional. Thank you.
All right, welcome back. Well, so our first question is from a client. We'll call him Bob. And remember, all questions today, the information and names have been changed to protect the innocent. But again, the changes aren't really going to alter the point of the question or what I said. So Bob says, hey Mike, hope all's well. Quick question for you. My tenant did not pay me rent for September, October, November, and December of last year. That would be 2021. He assured me he would catch up in a month or two from now, so in 2022. Can I deduct the lost rent on my 2021 returns? And since we're about to file my 2021 returns in the next few weeks, what happens when he pays me, say, this spring for the missed months of 2021? Do I have to amend my taxes and add in that rent that he pays me? So, no, you cannot deduct the rent he didn't pay you for September, October, November, and December because you never received it. That's not a deduction. What you can do, Bob, is you can continue to deduct all of the normal operating expenses on your rental property that you would have been deducting as long as the tenant was still there and you were operating the rental despite the fact that he didn't pay you, okay? Now, to answer your question, no, we don't amend your 2021 returns. We're just gonna file them. We're gonna claim only the rent that you actually got from your tenant, which is gonna be missing those months. We're not deducting. We're not going to take that and then say, and he didn't pay me $3,000, so I'm going to then take a subtraction of $3,000. That doesn't work like that, okay? And then what we'll do is we'll file your returns. And then on your 2022 returns, that's when we're going to have to claim that missed rent that you received, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, depending on your situation. So we don't amend. If we're filing your 2020 returns in the next couple of weeks, we're going to just file them. And we're going to file them reporting what you actually received rent-wise, operating expenses, etc. 2022, we'll put that rent on there. We will not be amending your returns, okay? Next question comes from Mary. Mary asked me, Mike, I was trying to get my tax info together for you. I called my bank and they said they were not giving me a 1099 for my savings account interest because it was only $7.06. They said anything below $10, they don't give me a 1099. Is this true? I don't remember this being an issue in the past. Well, first of all, if Mary earns $7.06 in a savings account, that probably means, given the going rate of interest that the banks are paying, she has about $42 billion in the bank because, oh, wow, you got $7. That's a lot more than anybody ever gets. That's a lot of money. But it is true, Mary, to answer your question. Below $10, they don't give you a 1099 interest statement, okay? So you won't see that. You do want to tell that to me, though, because we are going to still want to report the $7 on your tax return. I know there are some people out there that think no 1099, you don't report it. I do. because it's $7. It's not really going to move the needle one way or the other, but you're putting together a more accurate product, and that I think is important. If for no other reason than, well, we got to sleep at night. So let's see. Next question comes from Jim. He says, hey Mike, Bob Smith gave me your name. I don't need help with my tax returns, but I have a quick question. During 2021, I decided to sell some of my personal belongings on eBay and a few other sites online. In the last week or so, I received a number of 1099-K forms in the mail reporting the amount of money I got for selling my stuff. Do I need to report this on my tax returns? I did not sell these items for a profit. I was just trying to avoid throwing them in the garbage. I'm certain I paid more for all of these items than I received when I sold them. Yeah, this happens a lot. And in the last couple of years, Jim, the credit card companies that help with the processing of these transactions on, say, like eBay or, Mercari or some of these other sites where you can go and sell your stuff, your personal belongings, PayPal facilitates the payments. They are issuing 1099-K forms because they're required by law to do so. Yes, you need to put that on your returns. It's income. If you have documentation that might show that you paid more for these items than you sold them for, then you could, in theory, put together some kind of what's called a Schedule C to report that you received, say, $5,000-$10,000 for selling all your stuff, okay? And what you originally paid for them was X, okay? The issue here with this is if you're not really in a for-profit business, I would not be writing off the loss on your tax return. I mean, if you were doing this for a living, like you went out and bought stuff and sold it, and this is what you did, or you did it as a side business or a source of revenue, that's one thing. But what he's talking about here, what Jim is talking about is, he went to his basement and he found an old dehumidifier and he sold it for $10 online, and he probably bought it for $50. He got $10. That's great. He didn't throw it in the garbage. He's got $10. He can buy himself, 2 gallons of gas or whatever $10 buys you these days. Or, he did, this, whatever. If he was a reseller of things and that's what he did for a living, he could set up a business. I still would say I wouldn't want Jim to have to pay any taxes on this money because he didn't sell for a profit. I wouldn't, if I was Jim's accountant, which I'm not, I wouldn't permit him to take a loss against his other income on his tax return because this isn't a for-profit business enterprise. But to go back to the original question, yes, Jim, you do need to put this on your tax return. And if you have backup or evidence that shows you paid more, then you can show the government you did pay more than what you received for these items. But I would not put a subtraction or a negative or what's called a loss in my industry on your tax return to help offset your other income, because in Jim's case, you don't have a business, my friend. That's not what you got here. All right. Basically, last question I've got here is actually less a question about taxes and more about Lego. Hey Mike, I've been watching your channel, not so much the tax videos because, well, they're boring, but my kids and I love the Lego videos. I went to Amazon and Lego.com, and some of the sets are insanely expensive. Yes, they are. For what I plan to give my kids, which I know will end up on the floor, and then I will end up spending hours digging them out of the bottom of my feet and then tossing them in the trash out of anger, I don't want to spend a lot of money. Where do you get inexpensive Lego that isn't Amazon or Lego.com? Also, what is going to happen when you run out of room on your shelves? Well, the last question is, I hope I don't run out of room anytime soon, but it is certainly possible. I don't know. I'll buy a warehouse. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I mean, I'll cut back, I'll, kind of reorganize. That's part of what I like about this, honestly, is that I get to kind of sit down and, kind of condense them down and rearrange them a little bit. Maybe I'll not lose interest in a set, but maybe I'll want to put it in a different location. I mean, I can always buy a couple more shelves. I actually, right here, these brown boxes I haven't set up yet, but those are 2 larger sets of shelves. And I do have a little bit more room here, but, listen, I'll make do. I'll figure it out. That's a good problem to have, I guess. One that I'm not really going to spend a lot of time stressing about. Inexpensive Lego. Well, first of all, Amazon always runs deals. I know. You look 10, 15, 20, 30% off. Also, sometimes, but not always, Lego does run deals too. You can search their kind of sale items. But mainly if I want an inexpensive set, I'll actually go on eBay and I'll actually search for used Lego. I don't care. I mean, as long as it's not dirty and broken, if it's a complete set and you're pretty sure and you look at the pictures, you run some risks doing that or going on like Facebook Marketplace or something. But ultimately, I mean, that's where I get a lot of the sets that you see up behind me. They weren't brand spanking new. I mean, I don't care. I'm going to snap them together and leave them up on the shelf. I don't mind, and I don't know anybody that does. I mean, maybe there's some people out there that only buy new, but whatever. So, yeah, eBay, Facebook Marketplace. Again, Amazon and Lego do run deals, but not often, and it's not going to be as much as, what you could get winning an auction on a set that nobody wants, that's basically got nobody bidding on it, and there's like 5 minutes left on eBay on the, thing. You can snag some insane deals on eBay. So, all right, well, that's it for today. Stay tuned. We're going to take a break for the weekend. Come back Monday, episode 26. We're going to continue with filing status. We are going to do married, filing joint, and married, filing separate. And then Tuesday, Thursday of next week, we'll probably do Lego days again, obviously, because it's Tuesday and Thursday. Wednesday, we'll finish up with the last filing status, which is qualifying widow or widower. And then we'll do a Friday mailbag. And then that'll take care of next week. All right, thanks for watching episode 25. Again, like, subscribe, share our content with your friends, leave a comment. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend.